Welcome back. Now, if you're wondering how to write the perfect CV for the job that you want so badly, look no further. We're here to help you.
Yeah, we are, because CV writer and career educator Paddy Jobsman, yes, that's his name, well, it's the name he gave himself, is here to give you all the tips you need. Good morning to you,
Morning,
Paddy.
Alan.
How did this whole persona of Paddy Jobsman come about?
Yeah, so I've been involved with helping people with their careers since 2014. And, you know, last year I ran a jobs board for nearly 5 years. But during that time, I was always helping people with their careers and interviews and CVs and things like that. And I wanted to focus solely on helping people, you know, navigate through the job search process and help them with their careers. So I wanted to make it a bit more fun, add a bit more crack to it, a bit more
So
spice.
you really leaned into the Irishness
The
then, Paddy.
Irishness of it with the green suit.
Leaned into the Irishness.
The cap.
What better way to do it than put on a green suit and a paddy hat?
I mean, it
and
makes you
away
stand
go.
out in social media,
Yeah,
and that's what you're doing. So what are some of the mistakes that people make when it comes to CVs?
Yeah, so mistakes, more so pitfalls. So one of the most common pitfalls I see people fall down is that they fall asunder to recruitment bias. So like us all, we've got our biases, and recruiters are no different. So one place where people get discriminated against is through their age. So people put their year of birth on their CV, they put their year of birth in their email address as well. And a biased recruiter might just reject their CV automatically without giving them a chance. So
Because they'll do the numbers. They're like, no, I want someone younger than that.
yeah, so you want to put the focus on the value that you can bring to the company rather than anything to do with your age.
I was born in 1997.
Yeah.
And does that include your address as well? Because people might be biased that, oh, you live too far away from the company, or you might be in a perceived bad area?
Yeah, because recruiters have a bias, firstly, to hire people who are closer to the company, where the job is, because, you know, they probably think it's more likely they'll show up for work. But like you touched on, if the recruiter had, you know, a bad experience with, you know, where you grew up in, or they heard a story of where you lived, they might just reject you automatically. So for those reasons, I would recommend just including your county and country as your address. But you want to use that bias to your advantage as well. So if you live locally and you're applying for a job in your town, then, you know, of course, stick the town on, yeah.
When it comes to CVs, sometimes, you know, you'd look back in the day, you know, they'd come in and I'd be looking at them, there'd be like junior cert, leaving cert results, what college, what they had for dinner on Christmas in 1997. You don't need any of that stuff, do you? When can you kind of go, OK, I'm 25 years old, I can leave off my junior and leaving cert, can you?
Yeah, so if you have, you know, if you have a few years experience, there's no real point including your leaving cert results unless they're requested. But if you went to college, well, then it can be assumed that you completed your leaving cert.
Yeah.
So if you have any type of degree, you can exclude your leaving cert results or anything like that.
Because you say functional over chronological. So you see that, like, oh, date of birth, blah, 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 all going down. But you sort of say, try and adapt your CV for the job you're going to. Bring up to the top your selling points, your best selling points.
Yeah, that's what I've seen. That is the most effective way to have the hiring manager qualify you in for the job. So what way you have to look at it is that the hiring manager has problems that need to be solved. So all you have to do is demonstrate on your CV that you can, in fact, solve those problems. So you first need to figure out what are those problems. So what I recommend everyone doing before they start building their CV is to identify, you know, 5 to 10 jobs that they're interested in, break down what are the most commonly listed skills, most commonly listed requirements, and what does it look like the hiring manager actually needs. And once you identify and gather that information, you can then present the most compelling evidence on your CV.
Like, what do you mean? Say it's a retail manager. You know, you have to be able to, you know, stock take, you have to be able to be at the tills, you have to be able to organise people and rosters. Like, what would you do then?
Yeah, so I'd identify what the skills are. So, you know, management, team player, organisation, all them type of skills. And then on page 1 of your CV, I would demonstrate how you possess those skills by listing off the skill that's relevant for the job and then providing evidence of when you demonstrated that skill and it led to a positive outcome, result or achievement. And by doing this, you are, you know, providing the most compelling evidence that you can, in fact,
now you're
manage
saying
the job.
there, page 1 of your CV. Should your CV go to 2 pages?
Yeah, so there's a big misconception about CV length. And, you're not going to get rejected for a job because your CV goes over a page, 2 pages. I've had clients who've had 3-page, 4-page CVs. It's not an issue. But what you have to remember is that most of the attention is going to go on page 1. So that's why it's important that you get your biggest achievements.
Can we throw up a good
one.
CV there?
Here's a good
An example
CV.
of a good CV.
Or a bad CV. Which are we going to first?
I think we're going to... Should you put in your hobbies? Because I used to put in orienteering and I did it 4 times in school.
Yeah, it's a personal preference, but I like hobbies because it shows your human side, it shows your personality, and it's also an opportunity to establish trust with the hiring manager.
Okay, so this is a good CV, is it? Tell us why this is a good CV.
Yeah, so here you see, right, that it's easy to read. Your key points and achievements, they all stand out. And it's very easy for the hiring manager to qualify you in for the job. Now, this format and layout is built for online recruitment systems because hiring teams are using software called applicant tracking systems to manage and automate the recruitment process. So these systems have a hard time reading anything that's not a plain white background and black text.
That looks so different to the CV, every single CV
Yeah,
I've ever
I
done
love
in my
the
life.
thing, my core competence and achievements. It's there. It's straight away. You're hitting them with your achievements and your core competence.
Yeah, and
why can I get this
Mine
job?
is empty.
with just a glance, the hiring manager can qualify you in for the job. You knock their socks off straight away.
Knocking their socks off.
That's what it's all about.
How can people find you if they want more information?
Yeah, so paddyjobsman.com, I have all my resources are free. I have a free CV template. It's been downloaded 27,000 times, and I get DMs every day from people who have used the template to land a job. So check that out.
You should be getting a percentage of that.
I'm sure there's a thing in there. Paddy Jobsman, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thank
Well
you
done,
so
cheers.
much. Lots more to come. On
Yeah,
Another Day
we're going to take a quick break. See you in a minute. Okay, so what do I do?